Hello friends, welcome in. My name is Katie P. My pronouns are she, her, and this is my Flosstube channel. This is Flosstube episode number 28. Welcome in if you are returning, and welcome if you are new here. There are a couple of new souls here, so thank you for subscribing and welcome in. And if you have not already, please do consider hitting that subscribe button. That would make my day. I would really appreciate it. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and clicky. Yes, today is Saturday, April 19th. It's a beautiful Saturday. I hope everyone's having a good weekend. If you've been working on some crafts, I'd love to hear about it. So yeah, today is Flosstube Day. I normally film Friday nights after work, but we went to a concert last night, so that did not happen. So I'm going to get this up as soon as possible. I know that this will be uploaded on Easter Sunday, which I'm sure a lot of people are going to be busy on that day. So, but yeah, if you can take the time to watch, that would be amazing. I sure would appreciate it. And yeah, go ahead and leave a comment, give me a thumbs up, share with your friends, etc. Would be really cool. So, let's see. Yes, we went to a concert last night, and I'm pretty tired. All we did was stand there and bob our heads, but it was exhausting. I kind of flabbergasted that just standing there doing almost nothing can make my back hurt so bad. So that is why this is a little bit late, but it's totally worth it. It was a great concert. So, that being said, that's what's new with me. So that was a really fun thing to do with me and my fiance and some of our friends. So, yeah, sometimes we have things going on instead of filming Flosstube. But all right, so let's get into the crafty content. I have some things to share, some show and tell. So first things first, I have a finish. You guys, I'm so excited. I finished this Thursday night. And it is the Bridget hat. I haven't even tried it on yet. Can you believe it? But she is done. I finished the crown decreases. It only had, I thought there was more, but it actually only had like 5 rounds left. So I knocked that out Thursday night, and I'm just so excited. I don't know what to say. I'm really this wasn't really, I wouldn't say this was easy. It wasn't. I'm sure someone might think that, but I'm really pleased with it. Is it perfect? No, but it's pretty dang good. I got my hair cut today, and she styled it really nice. Otherwise, I would shove this directly on my head. I may do it anyway. Screw it. Stop. It looks so good. Yes. Heck yes. I'm obsessed. I'm truly obsessed. This is the nicest thing I've ever made. Yeah. I don't know what to say. I'm so thrilled. It's just in time for, like, Easter. Here in Georgia, Easter is usually pretty warm. So I know some parts of the world in the country, Easter is still pretty chilly, but not here. So this is probably going to be the thumbnail. Let's be real. Can I take a picture of this? Should I film this like this the entire episode? That'd be pretty funny. I think my head will get hot though. So let me go back to full screen. All right. So, I am considering, I need to get better about taking notes while I'm working on a project, but I know I've shared some of the things, my thoughts and everything throughout my Flosstube, but I'm thinking, as I get better at this, perhaps doing a like postmortem on a project, just dedicated sort of a la post review that I know some diamond painters do, like Rachel Ray and Diamonds and Washi. Who's another Katie. So if I have enough content for something like that, I might end up doing that. But yeah, this is probably going to be the last time that I talk about the Bridget hat unless I am wearing it. So kind of crazy. She's been with me for a while. When did I start this? I did a restart on it. Oh, please. I restarted it on June 17th of last year, so not quite a year. Okay, so. And I feel like if I were more monogamous, that would be slightly reduced, but anyway. Yeah, I don't know, you guys. I'm just really happy with it. I don't know why I keep, like, there are definitely some spots where if you really nitpicked it, but I think it's just amazing. Yay for me. And it fits. It actually fits really good. Like, some of the Ravelry posts, people who have done this project have said, like, very conflicting, like, it's too big, it's too small, things like that. So I was kind of interested to see, like, how it was going to fit my head. But I will say I did get, like, perfect gauge when I swatched this, so that probably has something to do with it. But yeah, I'm just so thrilled. So one more time for posterity, and this is how much I have left of two, I think 100 gram balls. 50 grams, two 50-gram balls. So I could maybe weigh this, but this is, I don't think I used much of the second ball. So I'd say like maybe 1¼ balls. Which I'm a little surprised by, but for some reason I thought this was 100 gram ball of yarn. So, and it's from Plymouth Select DK Superwash Merino in the color Wisteria. So yeah, I may have to hunt down another ball of this to make the mitts. That will definitely be a more advanced project. Kind of, I've done socks before, or like super bulky, chunky like slipper socks. So I'm kind of excited to tackle that because I do like the idea of a matching set. And I will pop in a picture of the cover from the pattern, kind of see the model because she is wearing the gloves as well. So yeah, maybe, well, no, but I won't go there. But I will say that I'm kind of excited to attempt the mitts and have a little set. So we'll see how that goes. Stay tuned for that. I don't know if I should cast those on right away or wait till I have enough yarn or see approximately how much yarn is used in the mitts, something like that. So a little bit more consideration before I dive into those. But I did decide, since I have finished a project, I'm going to cast on my Wild Ivy pullover sweater from Wool and Pine. I swatched for it like last September or something. It's been a minute and it's been waiting. But I think I'm ready. I'm ready. It's another purple yarn from Treehouse Knits. It is not on here with me right now because it's just a swatch. That is coming soon. Stay tuned. It's a gorgeous sweater. It's just, I love everything about it. I can't wait to start that. So I'm really happy. A finish is always a pretty exciting thing. So that really was kind of a win that I needed here just a little bit. So yeah, that was really a good boost. Okay, and then I'm going to move into some whips next. I don't have a whole lot, but I actually do have a little bit more than I thought because I actually checked Notion and I realized that there was one that I kind of forgot about. So that was helpful. Okay. So these are kind of in order of like oldest to newest, I guess. So here is where I am on Vintage Simplicity, and if I recall correctly, the blue lady did not have any hair. So I filled in some of that. She's blonde. And then, you know what? I think that is it. How about that? I'm going to try and make sure that any progress I do on paper patterns gets logged into Notion, because it said I only stitched 2 days so far in April, but that's not true because I worked on this. So there she is. She's getting close to having some hair. The eyes are still kind of dead and terrifying, but there's actually like some white stitches in the middle of her hair for like the reflection. It's kind of interesting. Oh, and she needs hands. She's wearing gloves, so it's all in white. So white and gray, kind of like right there. So it'll be time to pull this one out again soon. I think it's been about 2 weeks since I've worked on this. It's been a minute. So that is where I am with Vintage Simplicity. It's going pretty well, slowly and steady. But yeah, she's got a little bit of hair now. So I might hop over to the red lady. There's not a whole lot left on her head. I'll probably get the eyes filled in because it's a little uncanny. A little creepy. What else? Did I grab it? I thought I grabbed it. Okay, I'm back. I had to run grab a project that I forgot about, and then my phone rang. So I'm a little discombobulated, and I don't know what I was saying. I believe I was talking about my next project was going to be Maple Lane. I think I had to check. I was like, did I actually work on this? Because it's small, but I checked, and I mean, the amount that I did is small, and I'm being very bad about logging in Notion, so I don't keep track of things, which is unfortunate. So anyway, since last time, I filled in more of the light yellow in this tree and the green and light green in this. That's a phone booth, or it will be. So we watched, I worked on this while we watched The Studio, which is on Apple Plus. It's got Seth Rogen, and it is hysterical. It's really good. It's about Seth Rogen plays a movie studio head, and hilarity ensues. It's really good. It's nice and kind of ridiculous and lighthearted, and it's got some really good celebrity cameos. There was Martin Scorsese and Charlize Theron, Ron Howard, Anthony Mackie was also in the Ron Howard episode. So it's star-studded. It's hilarious. If you're looking for something a little ridiculous, and you like Seth Rogen type comedy, I recommend. We're really enjoying it. It's pretty funny. But so yeah, that's what I did, or what I watched while I worked on this last week. So filled in more of this tree. It's so close to being done. You can tell it's gonna, because this is the very, very top of the pattern. Nothing, that's it. That is the end. So I'm gonna get a little bit more filled in, probably, round that out a bit, and then I don't know what that hole is for, a little gap there. But yeah, this is getting, I know I should never make any kind of proclamations or whatever, but this is obviously the edge of the hoop. So once I get the tree and some of this phone booth, and even though it looks like there's a couple inches of space here, I really can't maneuver my needle any further than like here-ish. So I will have to scoot the hoop over soon, or the nerd hoop. It's square, but it's a hoop. So that is Maple Lane, my love, my favorite. They say you can't pick a favorite, but I love that one. So that guy is just adorable. So, all right, next is the Arctic Animal cell. And for some reason, I didn't think I had worked on this, but I did log it in Notion, and it said that I worked on this on the 16th, I think. And I worked on this on the 6th, 16th. And I did 222 stitches that night. And I finished the rest of the leftmost puffin. Left? Yeah, if you're looking at it, he's on left. This guy here. I finished the rest of the puffin's little feet and the rock thing he's standing on. Is there anything else that I worked on that day? I'm pretty sure it was mostly finishing up this puffin. There might have been some of the blue that I filled in, because there is still so much left up here. That being said, I'm anxiously awaiting the announcement from the Frosted Pumpkin for this year's Sal. So, as much as I complain about how unfun this is to stitch, it is a really cute pattern overall. I just am whining, I suppose. But yeah, crazily enough, somehow this here was 200 stitches. That's nuts. But just working my way around. Or I feel like I can get like a big chunk done at once, because this was all one color, that kind of thing. So, and they are really adorable. Like, look at these guys, they're precious. So it is a good little pattern. Just this bit here, I just don't really enjoy. But that is Arctic Animals. And the puffins themselves are basically done. Just finished their little sandy thingies. And I think this one will be, I can go in and fill in. He's holding a fish for the puffin in the nest. So presumably they've got some eggs. And he's bringing her some dinner. So they are really cute. Alrighty, moving right along. Next is Reducia. And I don't know how many stitches I did, but I filled in, yeah, a little bit more in working this way. A little bit more in of her tail. So I think it was mostly some of these warmer orange stitches and a little bit more purple. And yeah, it's kind of like an old gold color. So I filled in a little bit in this area. I know I worked on this since last episode, but it doesn't look like a whole lot. But that's okay. So just a little bit to show, but it is really a lovely stitch. So, and she's gonna look so good. So that's what she will look like. It's Erdusia from Bella Filipina. Absolutely stunning. So for mermaid, I don't know, are there like rules for mermaid? What you're supposed to do, is it just work on mermaids? I will research to find out. So not a whole lot, but I did fill in, I've got purple thread, and this is my back. My backs are usually not clumsy, super neat. They are not the worst, but not that good either. I'd say they're just so-so. So I've got purple thread here, so attached, so I was definitely working on the purple. It's just a little progress, but these stitches here is what must have been the last thing I did. So that is Erdusia, slowly but surely, making my way. So I think I have decided she's coming to Stitch North, but I'm gonna have to check out the luggage situation. Because I'll have this and my backpack, an actual suitcase and a backpack, so I think I can make it work, but I'm gonna have to be strategic. Because I do plan on, am I gonna end up with like a bunch of souvenirs that I will also need to try and squeeze in my backpack? Because, so, these are the questions. I swear I have like the phantom phone buzzing. I think it's going off. Okay, so I pulled Autumn is as Joyful out of timeout, and it went pretty good. So I finished the frame on that big green medallion. And I don't know. I don't know if it's just the way it's stretched in the hoop, but looking at it, it doesn't look right. But I've actually like taken like a ruler and then a strand of floss and everything lines up, I swear, but it looks just to the naked eye off. And it does bother me a little bit, but I'm just going to say that's how it's stretched on the fabric, how the fabric is in the hoop, and move on, because it's just, I can't, can't get stuck here. So it will be okay. But I finished the frame border of this green medallion and then started in on the innards. And am I crazy, or does that look kind of like a t-shirt? The whole time I was working on, I'm like, that's a t-shirt. It's a little v-neck tee, and then oh, it's turning into like a bodysuit. I have to look at the cover photo because I don't remember exactly what everything will look like. And I think I did this moth since the last time I showed this project. Because I was determined to get something accomplished. This was just giving me, it was fighting me. So it may have won, but we're moving on. It's not too bad. So I was very frustrated with this, so I decided to work downwards here. And then, oh, totally took it off. So we have an F, and a moth, and a little diamond. And then, yeah, getting pretty close to the bottom there. Or the bottom of the frame, not the pattern. But I've done a good little bit. I'm going to have to update Notion for this. Although this was several hours of stitching. I had to double check. I think I got on that day something like 400 stitches, which for me is a lot. Oh my god. Knock the glasses off my head. Here we go. I got 402 stitches done on April 13th. So that was a Sunday, I believe. So this is kind of my Sunday project, or one of them. But it's so beautiful. It's definitely makes me yearn for autumn. And the crunchy leaves and cozy vibes, but it's just starting summer here, so. And then this little tail. So yeah, this is Autumn as is Joyful. It's from Leela's Studio. I think I am a Quaker person, I think. I like these little medallions. They're like different kind of little, each one has a different little vibe. It's got a different little design and color and all of that. So I like that it's easy to break it up into little chunks and manage that way. So really enjoyed that. And the pattern is just beautiful. So we'll definitely look into buying more Leela's patterns in the future. I'm really enjoying this one. This is just a 16 count from Under the Sea Fabrics, I believe. Let's see, what did I say? Beige Tester. Yes, this is from Mystic Fabrics. Sorry, Mystic Fabrics Beige Tester. 16 count, or no, 18 count. I think Ardousia is the only one I have on 16 count at this time. So yeah, just a nice soft marbly beigey color. And then last but not least, I did a little bit more work on Stitch for Pride. January drop. So I believe this is the bottom of this section for Elegabulous. So I'm working all the way across. She's like sitting on like a chaise long. She's sitting on a chaise type of a reclining couch looking thing, and working that way, and then, you know, we'll be filling it in. So that is where I am with Stitch for Pride. I do not hold myself to any type of expectations for stitch alongs. It just, there's no point. I know it. So I'm working on it when I can, when I feel like it, or when it pops up in the tiny decisions, etc., which is just kind of how it goes for every project. But that is everything that I've worked on in the past 2 weeks. Not too bad. I am super duper pleased with my finish of my hat. So, that's part of the reason why I was super excited to get on here. All right, so that is all the projects that I've worked on in the past 2 weeks. And so we're going to move on to the next segment, which would be haul or acquisitions. And I do have one thing, which is kind of a big deal if you ask me. And that is my lap stand. Look at her. Oh, it's kind of, she's got some threads in her. This arrived last Saturday. And I've been using it ever since. It has absolutely upped my efficiency. Not having to hold a hoop in my hand. I can stitch two-handed now, passing the needle back and forth instead of going around and around. It does take a little bit of getting out of the habit of just stitching one-handed, so slowly but surely that will become like muscle memory, and now my left hand is slightly less useless because I can actually do something. And just in general, I'm very, this doesn't do a whole lot for me. It's all pretty much a useless appendage until now. So I'm super pleased to have a lap stand now. I do think that was a good investment for my future happiness and well-being, because sometimes the shoulder just can't do as much. So glad I got that. It folds up pretty well. I have heard of some people taking their lap stands to Stitch North. I'm tempted to stick that into my suitcase. Yeah, let me know. Those of you coming from the US that aren't like local, do you shove your lap stands? It folds fairly flat, so I'm not really concerned about that, but do you bring them with you? Do I think I will get enough stitching done to warrant packing that and potentially leaving something important in Canada? I know I should ask in the Facebook group. I don't know why I never think to do that, but I'm not a big Facebook user. So that's a thought. I'm gonna see if I can sort of finagle my luggage and not overpack clothes like I usually do. I am a terrible overpacker. I pack way more outfits than I will ever need on any trip. And I know this cross-stitch retreat will be very relaxed and chill, and I'm just gonna need like basic stuff, so we'll see if I can stick to that. It's kind of a, I guess it's an anxiety thing, like worrying about not having something I'm gonna need, but I don't think I'm gonna be worried about fashion too much when I'm up there a whole lot. So that being said, or all that to say, I'll give it a try. And that's the only really acquisition that I have. So will be plans. Plans are to start the wild ivy. I did make my goal. I'm so happy, you guys. I met a goal of finishing the Bridget hat before Easter, which is tomorrow. So I got it like 3 days before my goal. So I'm pretty happy with that. So the next thing would be to finish more on Vintage Simplicity. Those two ladies, give the red lady some hair and some eyes. So that's the next goal. And then I will be starting casting on the Wild Ivy sweater from Wool and Pine. I've got the bag that the swatch and the caked up yarn is in. It's already got a needle in there, so I'm really kind of ready to go. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous sweater. And I do also need to get a little bit more work done on my grandpa cardigan, because it has been sitting there, not really have anything done to it since I got to the point where I was ready for some shaping. So that is kind of at a pause. So I've got some knitting bug in me. The finish has kind of ignited my Yarny Mojo. Yeah, Yarny Mojo. So that I'm feeling good about knitting and yarning stuff. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty motivated for that. Treehouse Knits, I'm going to have to try and plan for this, because Treehouse Knits has announced they're doing an entirely green collection. Lauren, who is the mastermind behind Treehouse Knits, has said that green is her favorite. She does them extraordinarily well. I am always drawn to those the most out of her collections, and her purples too. Definitely the purples. So she's doing an entirely green collection, and I know at one point I wanted to get another sweaters quantity of a certain colorway that was green on her tweed base, but I couldn't justify it. So I just bought 2 skeins at that time and thought I'd make like a hat and mitt set. But now I'm thinking, if she has that particular yarn in that particular base, that colorway in that particular base, then maybe I'll buy a few more skeins so I can do... Honestly, that Tweety yarn would be so cute in just a little pullover. Something kind of boxy, maybe. The wheels are turning, and I'm a little hyper. But all good things. So yeah, I'm getting excited. I'm gonna have to plan and be strategic, because I wasn't planning on buying more yarn, but I might do it. So that's very exciting to me. I think she does greens very well. And then we are 10 days out from Stitch North, or at least until my flight. I believe I'm flying out the day before it starts, I want to say. I'm not really sure why I did that, but I think it had to do with getting a good price on a flight or something. I'm not sure. But we are 10 days out from when I arrive in Canada. So I'm really excited about that. I have my passport out, so I absolutely do not forget to pack it, because that is something I would do. So I got that ready. I'm working on table gifts. I'm going to make little floss drops, sort of like these. I made these for Autumn is Joyful, and I think I'm going to make a few. I've got a bunch of very pretty, in my opinion, scrapbook paper that kind of, I gotta figure out, I wanted to figure out something to do with it, and so I thought maybe if I make a few of these, I was thinking 3 for each person at the table, that might be something useful, so I'm working on those. I'm cutting out a handful each night. They're in more springy colors than the ones I'm making, so that should be fun. So I'm working on those, and then I do believe that is it as far as the crafty things. So I guess the next order of business would be media. I mentioned David and I have started watching The Studio on Apple Plus, and that's just hilarious. I probably should have saved it for the segment, but we're really enjoying it. It's a nice kind of comedy thing to, you know, cheer us up kind of stuff after a long day. It's really funny. Seth Rogen is, I think he's pretty funny. I know he's not everyone's cup of tea. Sometimes he's not my cup of tea, but I think this show is pretty good. So if you have Apple Plus, definitely check that one out. I don't know why everything we're watching is Apple Plus these days, but we do things in waves. We did also watch, I don't know if I mentioned this in a previous episode, but we watched the Tetris movie on Apple Plus as well. And that was all about how Tetris was developed by a Soviet computer programmer and how they wanted to bring it to the West and sell in Japan and had the arcades, and it was all like intrigue and plot and subterfuge kind of stuff, and it we really liked it. I had to see how much was accurate. I did do a little Googling. It was not too far off from what actually happened. I from what I could see, the people were saying, people who were there did say that it was pretty accurate. So we really enjoyed that. So if you think that sounds like your cup of tea, you might go watch that movie. We liked it. And then books, I'm still working through Iron Flame. I'm about 180 pages in. I read before bed. I read in bed, before bed. And then when my eyelids start getting heavy, I just toss it on the nightstand. So I really only get like a chapter a night, which is not very much at all. This book is 600 pages long, so it's probably going to take me a little bit to get through it. I will try to... I probably won't bring it to Stitch North with me because it's so chunky. I'll probably bring my tablet and download something from Libby. But I'm just working through it. It's pretty good. It's alright. I don't mind it. It's entertaining enough. I say it's good, not great. It's just a little fun fantasy story, I guess. But am I crazy, or is the font so tiny? If you have the one with the black sprayed edges, is that font extremely tiny? Because it's 600 pages and the font is, maybe I need to get new glasses. But I opened it and my eyes were like very strained. So I think that does have something to do with it as well. But that is the only book I'm currently reading. I do have several holds in Libby, but for the time being, I'm just sticking with my hardback, and working through the physical books that I have and have not read. So I guess I'll move on to Onyx Storm after this one. Or I may need a palette cleanser, genre change. We'll see. I don't know what I'll be in the mood for, but I think my next Flosstube upload is probably going to be a Stitch North recap. I'm considering maybe doing a tiny bit of vlogging while I'm there. I don't want to, like, if that makes people uncomfortable, I won't, but I might, like, maybe at the end of the night in my hotel room or something, talk about, you know, what it's been like. and do that perhaps. So, and I'll recap, you know, what I brought with me, what I did, what I bought, what I ate, how the flight went, you know. I'm certainly not a travel expert or content creator, so, but I think that could be fun. I think that might be a fun video to make and to kind of see how that goes. I think that could be fun. I do enjoy traveling, so I can maybe sprinkle some of that into what I do here. So that is definitely, I'm sure, going to be the next video that you see here. So look forward to that. If you haven't and you want to see how my trip to Stitch North goes, please consider subscribing. It would make my day. That'd be super awesome and helpful. And like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. So stay tuned. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye.